Good evening and welcome to our live talk on career planning, accessing career planning tools and RPL at Atlantic Technological University. My name is Jean Gilligan and I am the Head of Online Learning, Business Development and Operations Manager here at ATU, and I'll be your host for this live talk. This evening, I'm joined by Bridie Killoran, Career and Learning Pathways Manager at MyCareer Pathway. Welcome, Bridie. Christine McCabe, RPL Coordinator at ATU. Welcome, Christine. And Michael Conaghan, Operator Lead at Abbott Donegal. Welcome, Michael. As part of this evening's discussions, we'll be chatting about MyCareer Path, a service from Atlantic Technological University, which delivers pathways into and through higher education. This is a free service which is available to people in the workplace, returners to education, entrepreneurs looking to upskill, and people looking to accelerate their career and progress within their organisation. We'll also be chatting about RPL, which is the recognition of prior learning or experiential learning, and how it can be utilised to help people to bridge the gap in their learning and progression through the learning journey. Michael will be talking to us about his experience when working with MyCareer Pathway and how it has helped him as he prepares to progress into third level education for the first time in September on a mechatronics programme in the Department of Engineering. Before we get started, I just need to mention some housekeeping details. This session will be recorded, but attendees will not be visible. Our talk will last for approximately 20 minutes. We're not taking questions within this talk. However, if you want to head to the live Q&A section of our virtual open evening platform, you can submit any questions there and our team will get back to you, or you can submit an inquiry on MyCareer Pathway or to rpl@atu.ie. So Bridie, we're going to start with you first. And can I ask you to give us an overview of MyCareer Path service and what it's all about?
Okay, thank you, Jean. So MyCareer Path, it's an online career development programme offering one-to-one mentoring to people from professional career guidance counsellors, and they specialise in workplace development. It supports people in the workplace who are looking to upskill, reskill or return to the workplace. We launched MyCareer Path this time last year, and already we've had 740 learners through our pathways. So really, I suppose in essence, what the service offers is one-to-one career guidance and mentoring. It offers career and strengths assessments. So those are career assessments to help people understand themselves. It offers access to e-learning courses supported by artificial intelligence. We help people understand their career paths and progression routes, and advice on suitable courses and further training, and also support with recognition of prior learning.
We might chat a little bit more about the strengths in a minute when we move to Michael and how you access that and how you were able to identify them. But for the minute, it's very important for people to keep up to date with skills that are in demand. And how can MyCareer Pathway help to bridge those kind of skills deficits within industry?
Okay, so with MyCareer Path, we help people identify areas where they may need to develop new skills or acquire additional qualifications in order to pursue their desired career goals. So we help them identify their skills gaps, and we tailor the learning programs so that they can bridge those gaps while also linking to the courses within the university. So as we said earlier, they get exposure to career assessments like the strengths profiling or the employability pulse. And this, I think, helps learners build their confidence and also the ability to reflect on all the great things they've achieved already to date in their career. And this is important, I suppose, as they embrace lifelong learning or upskilling opportunities. And as you said, it's really important that people, do upskill in order to stay current and competitive in their workplace and for their career development.
The support that learners gain from MyCareer Pathway, that service is brilliant. Can you tell us a little bit more about that one-to-one mentoring and the career action plan that takes place as part of that?
Yeah, so when we evaluate every learner that's come through the programme, and 100% have said that the really impactful piece is the one-to-one mentorship they get from professional career guidance counsellors. So each learner has access to a career learning pathway advisor. They have their own kind of relationship with that advisor, and it's invaluable because they get to discuss their ambitions, their aspirations, and even their fears around maybe coming back in, whether it's to education or, putting themselves forward for a promotion. So all that is really important. The Career Learning Pathway Advisor, they're qualified, they know how to ask the right questions, they get to know the learner individually, and they develop, as you said, an action plan. And it's, around with SMART goals. And so everything they learn in their pathway, all of this is consolidated in the career development plan. And in the final session with the Career Learning Pathway Advisor, they go through that so people have an idea or direction on how they want to move forward.
Does that take long, Bridie? Kind of the time frame for an action plan? What kind of level of commitment would somebody need to put into that?
Yeah, so the MyCareer Path, it's not an open platform. If you Google MyCareer Path, you'll get into our website, which is really good and there's great information. But the first thing that you need to do is to go onto the online booking system and book your appointment with the Career Learning Pathway Advisor. They then will meet you in the first initial appointment and go through the different pathways. So there's 5 different key pathways. There's an early learner pathway, there's career accelerator, and there is mastery pathway, which is mid-career, dream builder, which is kind of later career or fulfillment pathway, and finally there's a really good entrepreneur pathway for somebody who's an innovator or wants to start their own business. So in all, it takes between 6 to 8 weeks. Really, there's kind of 8 hours of online learning, but then there's other pieces of reflection that has to happen as well. But it is very doable, really, within the time frame that people have.
And this, it's also beneficial for employers, not only people who are considering the courses themselves, but it's going to be mutually beneficial for employers to have their employees upskill. Is there a different service for employers within MyCareer Pathway?
Yeah, so we've a growing list now of client companies that we're working with, and we work across all sectors. Our mission really is to help businesses develop their workforce and to respond to the challenges now, because as we hear all the time, it's about talent retention, employee retention, succession planning, employee development and upskilling. So they are the key challenges now that companies face, and we work with them. Now, I know we're focusing on the medtech industry, and we've worked with 5 key companies now in the region: Medtronic, Medical, Regeneron, Meisner and Abbott. And we have their case studies now up on our platform, so if people did want to look at them. But we bespoke some of the pathways to kind of meet what specific challenges that those organizations had, and then we work with them. So when we're onboarding with companies, we work with the HR departments or the L&D section of the company, and then what we do is we onboard the group collectively together. So that's good because a team can be doing these pathways together, and even though they're all at different levels and working in different capacities, there's that kind of team building piece then that happens as well.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Bridie. I think we better move on to Christine. Christine, you're the RPL coordinator, and people may be unsure about that term RPL and what it means. It's quite an academic term, I suppose we're used to it, but can you explain for everyone what RPL actually means?
Absolutely. And yes, you're right. It can seem quite abstract, and it is kind of seen as an academic term. But what RPL means and what it stands for is recognition of prior learning. And it's a means where we assess all different types of learning that people can come to a higher education authority with. So it's a process by which prior learning is formally valued, and it's a means by which we identify and assess and recognise by ATU here at ATU, as part of our programs and our modules on the National Framework of Qualifications. So this means it's possible for an individual to build on all of the different types of learning that they have, from experience, from their informal learning, from their work experience, etc., and to be rewarded for it, allowing access to higher education.
Brilliant. How can RPL then be considered as part of an application process for someone who's applying for a place in a program here in ATU? How can that recognition be utilised, for access, or
Absolutely.
How is an equivalent determined, really?
Yes. So as you know, all of the higher educational programs are built and designed on this national framework of qualifications that we know of. And in higher education, those programs generally move from a level 6 to a level 10. So we essentially assess somebody's learning, their prior learning, against those same award standards. So there's that same equivalency and quality assurance and integrity in regard to the process. So in fundamental terms, what that means then for the applicant is they're bringing their prior experience that they have from their workplace, from their own private learning, from their own informal learning across, many different aspects of their life. And they document it with the guidance of an RPL coordinator. And this then gets assessed essentially against the entry criteria or the equivalent award standards for those programs. And then we can see, okay, that this learner has learning and knowledge and skills and competencies that are equivalent to the entry criteria. And hence this program may be a good fit for them. And it allows access to our programs essentially. And that's the key fundamental thing. So for those who may not have had prior higher educational experience, they don't have that formal entry criteria, they're utilizing their prior experience and knowledge gained through their work experience and their other informal means of learning to allow access to higher ed. And it means that they don't have to go back maybe and relearn something that they've already known or that they already know in order to gain entry to further kind of upskill or further develop their own needs from a personal or professional education point of view.
Yeah, and people often don't value the informal learning that they have, and they're unsure of how to equate that to accreditation, but it helps them to bridge that gap essentially for entry onto a programme.
Absolutely. And it's back to that whole point of all learning counts. And quite often people don't realize how much learning can be valued and the different types of learning that can be valued. So it's not just, these academic kind of the knowledge and skills that we gain in a classroom or a lecture environment, the experiences that people have from their workplace or their own kind of hobbies and considerable interests that maybe they've gained significant learning over many years, that can all be utilized and used, again, as I say, to allow entry to our programs or potentially to reduce even time on programs via module exemptions, etc.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, people for this particular session, so biopharma, medtech, they're working in highly regulated industries, they're compliant to good manufacturing practice, that GMP, and so there would be some level of maybe learning from that would help them with regard to the course, and provide some exemptions for them. But can you tell us how people can find out more about RPL and how to access it if they were considering it for their application?
Absolutely. So we're very fortunate to have 3 RPL coordinators at ATU. So one in each of our colleges, Donegal, Galway Mayo and Sligo. Anybody wanting to find out any further information can access the ATU website and on our page there, atu.ie/RPL. There's some further information on explaining again what RPL is and how it can be used, but also importantly, there's contact details for the RPL coordinators. So anybody can reach out to us. We're more than happy to advise and to advise how it can work in an applicant's own scenario, because everybody is unique and everybody's learning and experience is unique. So that's the fundamental thing, that you're getting one-to-one guidance in that respect. So anybody can reach out to us in that regard, or simply just email rpl@atu.ie, and one of us will pick up and respond and meet you online and guide you through the process if need be.
Brilliant. Thanks, Christine. And I think what's really important is just for people to be aware that they can have their work experience recognised, and if they're considering applying for a programme, there is no harm in questioning whether they're eligible for RPL and to reach out. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Michael, lovely to have you on with us this evening. I'm conscious you're working in Abbott. You've been there for the last 4 years and you've moved from the role of operator to operator lead. Congratulations, having been new to the industry. And you've recently engaged with MyCareer Pathway as part of that process when you were considering further education. So can you tell us about your experience with that process?
Yes, Jean, how are you? I've been now in Abbott 4 years, and it was a big change for me coming here because I was a tyre fitter before that. So I applied for a course at work for engineering and mechatronics, with the prospect of becoming a process lead or working down them lines. But my main part was I was worried about going back to school again after so many years out. So, and one of the biggest problems was about maths, how I get on with that. So my employers, Abbott's, guided me towards my career pathway. And I met with Peter Smith, which I must say, one-to-one mentoring was fantastic. He made me feel at ease and helped me during the whole course. So the one I done was the Dream Builder, and I knew I had skills, but I didn't know what direction I would go in. But from the start of the course till the end of it, it made me realise how hidden potential kind of I had, and it's how I could enhance it and make it work for me. And with Peter's help, he guided me to different courses that I can get online help with, and maths and that, and different places that within the ATU Sligo that I can go before I start the course and after I start the course, that the help's there for me. And I will be worried, but the help's there to help anybody going back to school again. And it made me more at ease of what was in front of me. So it's just now a whole prospect of heading back to school again.
Yeah, and you said you had hidden talents that you weren't really aware of, but what has surprised you most about this process and the knowledge you've gained from going through the Dream Catcher one, Dream
Builder, yeah.
Dream Builder. Sorry.
No, that's it. Surprised. I suppose you're going in and you're unaware of what you're going into, what you're starting, but it helped me kind of see my potential going forward. It helped me understand where I was good with people, and how that would affect my engineering part, career and that. So like it just had hidden skills. It could, when you're doing the course, it helps you down each path you go down, that you can see every wee bit you do, that it's giving you more confidence. And it's definitely made a big difference to me, helping me out.
Brilliant. Has it alleviated any concerns that you initially would have had about considering further education?
Yes, because like maths was a big thing for me. Now, till I actually start the course, I'm not going to be 100% sure what I'm doing. But to actually know, like even Peter, like, you're there for us to help us out and to make things easier for us. And I definitely, like, where I was worried, this has actually made things easier for me. And it gives you the strength to go after your dreams. So as in Dream Builder and that, and it's unlocking my potential and everybody's potential that'll actually be doing these courses. And I think it's brilliant what this course is doing.
Thanks so much, Michael. That's brilliant. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up there. I know we could talk for another while about all of those and all the value to MyCareer Pathway and RPL. And we could listen to you, Michael, for hours, I think, about your experiences. But thank you very much. So thank you, Bridie, Christina, and Michael, for being our panelists this evening. We got brilliant insights to MyCareer Pathway and RPL and all the resources that are available and that are shared as part of this talk. So if you'd like to watch this talk back, we'll upload a video to our virtual open evening webpage and you'll be able to watch it back. And if you're interested in upskilling, changing your career or returning to work, but don't know where to start, the ATU MyCareer Path Advisors can help you. And in our virtual open evening platform, we have a section there for MyCareer Path, and that has a link to MyCareer Path website where you can start the process, make an appointment with one of the ATU Career and Learning Pathway Advisors. For any questions on RPL, contact rpl@atu.ie. And if you have experiential learning, I would advise you to engage with Christine and her colleagues. And if you have any questions regarding this talk, head over to our live Q&A section. And finally, thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our virtual open evening. Thank you.